Hey everybody, it's Norris with the Norris Group. It's Friday, August 4th, and what would you do with Ailing shopping malls? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. Up on the radio show and the podcast this week, we've got our second interview with Alex Serrato. This, of course, is going to end up in the portal for you VIP subscribers. We taped way too much information, but the entire segment is going to be in the portal as part of the subscription. In Buying Systems, we are renovating it this summer, so check that out. But on the radio show this week, he covers his process for finding lots and buying land, percolation tests and why you really need to make sure you know what that means and why it's so important, looking out for protected species when you're building, and much more. Don't miss that on the radio show and podcast. The National Association of Realtors reported a 1.5% increase in pending home sales in June. Black Knight Financial Services showed home prices increased 1.1% in May for the U.S. and for California. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported a 20% increase in commercial multifamily borrowing year over year and 28% higher than the first quarter. The latest home price report from CoreLogic showed a 6.7% increase in home prices in June, and the National Association of Realtors reported volume in sales transaction increased 19%, while commercial income increased 11%. The U.S. added 209,000 jobs, bringing unemployment to 4.3%, the lowest in 16 years. Builder confidence increased in the second quarter by 11 points to 66 for 55-plus housing market, and mortgage rates continue to remain level with 30-year rates at 3.93% and 15-year rates at 3.18%. Is Airbnb ruining rental markets? Brian Davis of Bigger Pockets wrote a great article this week digging into popular stats that vacation rental haters use to discredit or block vacation rentals. His answer, well, not really. Most of the places that Airbnb rents are located in large tourist locations and areas that are most desirable to live, but not all rentals are located in these locations. So hotel lobbyists and tenant activists, which are unusual bedfellows, argue that more places being rented at Airbnb in high-demand neighborhoods are taking away from living situations. In some markets, that's very true. I experienced that when we were in Italy and Venice, and of course, markets like San Francisco, you hear horror stories of how people are renting tents and backyards for crazy amounts. So, regulation is not keeping up with technology and disruption. It's a mess. We'll figure it out. I like that Brian took the time to talk about what cities can do to plan for the future. Certainly, some hotels are going to go under. If they can get rid of the red tape, what are the possibilities for not just hotels, but retail space that is really struggling? So it's not just hotels anymore. I really like this article. We'll link to it on the blog. Los Angeles saw another rise in rents for the sixth straight month. Rents increased by 0.5% last month, with median price of one-bedroom rentals at about $1,300 and two bedrooms at $1,730. Year over year, this marks a 4.8% increase for just LA alone. Meanwhile, rents across the country, the state increased 4.2% and 2.9% across the country. So the California market is a little hot. Marina Del Rey claims a top spot as most expensive rental market, where one bedroom goes for around $3,490 and a two bedroom $4,490. Some New York City brokerages got together and stopped sending listing updates to StreetEasy and Zillow Group websites. Will more follow is the big question. They had originally told the companies they would do this if they did not agree to a specific licensing term, and now they have followed through on that threat. Susan Demure, I think that's how you say her last name, general manager of StreetEasy, downplayed it, saying this was only a select few brokerages and really not all that large a percent of listings that were going to get fed in. However, it's an important move because I don't remember anybody else doing this, and if more people tag along, this will be interesting because data is the lifeblood of groups like Zillow Group. So we'll have to watch out and see what happens next. Multi-generation living is making a huge comeback. A recent survey shows 1 in 5 Americans now live in a multi-generational household. This level has not been seen since the 1950s, y'all. That's crazy. Increased home prices, uncertain child care expenses, college debt, and longer life expectancies are all some of the reasons that grandma may be just as likely to be crashing on your couch as the millennial, right? If you haven't taken the time to tour new homes specifically targeting this market, please do. California has plenty of builders that are specifically building multi-gen housing, and they're cool to walk through and see, what they're doing. Why? Because investors, you have the opportunity as well, as we're looking at markets, especially along the coast, where you can expand and do add-ons, or possibly look at building a casitas back in the back. You might be able to explode value just by a few tweaks. So really pay attention, see what kind of features the builders are doing, and hey, why not? Give it a try. Zillow reported an increase in the homeless population, with rents drastically increasing. A 5% rent increase would force more than 5,000 people into homelessness in cities that already struggle with the homeless population, like New York, Los Angeles, and Seattle, like we had just talked about. However, it is not known how accurate these numbers are, as you cannot completely rely on the numbers of homeless counted on a one-night survey. Seattle and Portland, Oregon have declared a state of emergency in response to the number of people experiencing homelessness. Many people who rent are just one medical emergency or a layoff away from being homeless. If you want more information on this, I did a really interesting interview with Damian O'Farrell. He is, of course, the CEO of the Path of Life Ministries out here in Riverside County, doing some very interesting things in the homeless space, and I just really love him and his family and some of the things that they do here in the county, but definitely something to keep an eye out for, because this is going to make housing political. Could grocery stores save America's shopping malls? Well, losing anchor stores make it really difficult for malls to survive, because they pay, in many cases, the largest part of the lease. As stores like Sears are looking to close over 300 stores just by themselves, grocers are moving in. Kroger purchased the Macy's building in Kingsdale Shopping Center in Ohio, and Whole Foods will open one in College Mall in Indiana. This is the latest survival tactic for malls that are trying to make a viable solution out of diminishing tenants that are willing to pay rent. So what would you do? What are some of the things that you would like to see in malls? I have this fantasy of turning a local Sears in Riverside. They have the biggest parking lot I've ever seen, building senior condominiums or veteran condominiums all around the outskirts, and turning the store actually into a community center, maybe a healthcare, spa, I don't know. I just think there's so much opportunity here, but I would love to hear what you would do. What would you do with those Gottschalks or their Sears or Robinson's May that are no longer in existence? You've got these 3-story malls. I want to hear your ideas. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to not only like the Norris Group page, but don't forget to add us to your See First list, and with notifications on. Leave your comments below the video, and if we miss something, share the story on our comment sections on either YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure to include it on our blog at thenorrisgroup.com/blog. We would love to see you out and about. August 16th, we're going to be doing 10 life-changing days of a real estate investor with Invest Club for Women out in Orange County. September 14th, we'll be doing the same talk, but up in San Jose at the San Jose Real Estate Investors Association, and 2 days later, doing Cashing In on a Boom. This is the only time we're doing it this year. It's the strategies, and Quadrant 4 is where we're at right now, of how to make money in this current California market, doing the strategies that matter most. So that's going to be Saturday, September 16th. Of course, I Survive Real Estate is sold out. We will be releasing information on the live stream. Thank you so much for all your support. We sold out in record time. We will end up raising probably close to 70 grand this year, and our total is already over 750 grand that we've raised in total since we launched this event back in 2008. So check out isurviverealestate.com for the latest information, and of course we'll send out an email as we get closer. For more information on hard money loans, including fix and flip, buy and hold, and new construction starting at just 6.9%, yes, we are lending in Northern California, and wait for information soon on Florida. Check out thenorrisgroup.com under hard money lending. For trust deed investing, making passive returns with trust deeds, check out tngtrustdeeds.com. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.